some serious phone tag.
We played phone tag this week. We were going to talk, but neither of us really wanted to talk. So when the other guy called, we didn't answer.
Well, what's hard is when you call, it says like no found number. It's like do not answer. This is because you've got a blocked number.
Yeah, but you know that's me, and then that's why you don't answer.
No, because the people that are trying to sell me something, it says the same thing. It says no caller ID.
Well, right now everybody knows my caller ID. It's a lot.
Anyway, we will talk.
Okay.
But in the meantime, you're here for this panel, and I'm not.
All right.
So I'm gonna go.
I miss you already.
I miss you too.
You know what? I'll call you.
Okay, please. Hi. How's it going?
Pretty good, all in all. You washing the window? It's a nice circular wave you have there. Well, we were just having a sentimental moment in the photo op room. Chris and I, we were talking about the fact that he has taken 250,000 supernatural photos. So there's no question with that volume of photos that there are some truly, truly compromising images of me out there. I think that. Well, we were also talking about the fact that this has been so long that we've been doing these conventions. It's kind of an amazing thing. What? And my first convention was in New Jersey. Is there anybody here that was there? Oh my God, we're still doing this? You looked so youthful when we first met. I distinctly remember coming up on stage and being like, oh God, this is terrifying. And it was terrifying, and it still is terrifying. But it's been such a big chunk of all of our lives now. It's kind of remarkable. Yeah. That's all I have to say on the matter. Chris and I hugged like we meant to. It was one of those moments, like, oh, I'm so sorry for what you've suffered through. Well, all right. I mean, what a strange thing. What a strange thing to luck into having this for so long. So, thank you guys, and the four of you who've been here from the beginning. I was so nervous when I came up on stage because I was like, they're gonna ask me questions about the show and I can't remember anything. They're gonna be like, what episode was it when you first stared longingly into Dean's eyes? It was the last episode. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Great, thanks. What's happening?
I'm having a great day, and it's 3 days before my birthday, so. Yeah.
That bodes well. Yep.
So my question is, with Dean being gone, how is the relationship between Cass and Sam and Cass and Mary going to evolve now that there's not really a buffer there?
Not really a what there?
A buffer.
A buffer?
Yeah.
Do you feel like Dean has been the buffer between?
They talk more than anybody else, so now that he's like not there, it's like.
Every time Cass starts to talk to Sam, Dean like just comes in between them. Like, hey guys, I don't want you talking to each other. And the same thing with Mary. He just doesn't want Cass to talk to anybody else. You know what? If you have something to say to Mary, if you have something to say to Mary, you can say it to me and I'll pass it along, Cass. Cass, if you have something to say to Sam, say it to me and I'll pass it along. Well, it's gonna be interesting. So in the beginning of the season, you may know this, Dean has been occupied by Archangel Michael. He's very well dressed. He's suddenly dapper, and the bunker sort of turns into mission control with all these hunters from the alternate universe. And Sam takes on a leadership role, which is obviously very awkward for him. And I think Cassie and Sam end up having a few kind of like really earnest, connected scenes, which is not historically common. We typically have been slightly mistrustful of one another, I think, over the years. And I think that that's just because Jared as a person is so intolerable. And that bleeds into our dynamic, you know, on set as actors. Yeah. We had such a fun week of shooting this week. We were total children all week. We had a montage scene that we shot, and it basically says in the script, like, you know, it's a montage, so they're just sort of like, we're supposed to be in different positions to show the passage of time in this waiting room. And boy, the positions we found ourselves in. And the director just gave up, and he just let it roll, and we were fucking around for about 15 minutes straight, and I think they need about 10 seconds of footage for this. And he says, okay, finally he said, cut, put me out of my misery. And then he turned to the script supervisor and said, did we get what we needed? And she said, no. And so we did it again for another 15 minutes. It was great. And we kept on having, there was a bunch of scenes where Alex, who plays Jack, he's like having, I don't want to give too much away, but he's sort of having fainting spells. So he's on the floor a few times. And every time in the scene when he would fall to the floor, Jared and Jensen and I would pile on top of him. And that's 600 pounds of man. And then at one point, Ruth got on top of that. So it was fun. It was a fun week and very professional. And you didn't even ask about that. Hi.
Hi, Misha.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm Richard from Hungary.
You're from Hungary?
Yeah, I'm from Hungary.
Are you visiting?
I am.
Okay, how long are you here for?
I'm here for a week, actually.
Okay, and did you come for the convention mostly?
Sorry?
Are you here really for the convention?
Oh, yeah, basically, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's my first time also, so.
That's amazing! Welcome to Trump world.
And my question is actually not show related, but
okay.
I wanted to ask you, how did you like this year's Gish?
How did I like this year's Gish? I thought it was great. How many of you did Gish this year? Those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, it's sort of this weird amalgamation of a scavenger hunt and an art project and a charity project and my effort to embarrass strangers. Which works great, by the way. My favorite part of it is looking at the photos of people humiliating themselves. But it was great. This year felt like the energy was, people seemed to really just enjoy it this year. We tried to do a lot more things that were not quite as difficult, which I think made it more fun for people. But there were also a lot of things that were impossible, and that element of frustration was still there, which was also satisfying. Did you do it in Hungary?
Oh yeah, we did some items, yeah.
Yeah? What did you do?
Couldn't say that, but some of the easier items, of course. Yeah.
The easier items?
Yeah, some of these.
And you don't remember? You're lying. Okay. You're like Kavanaugh. All right, so.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, so on the show you played like lots of different characters, like big because that's why Lucifer and like the alternate dimension thing, and like and like the empty cast and stuff. Like, what is your inspiration for that, or do you just like wing it, like when you show up?
Are you saying that it looks really unpolished what I'm doing? I guess. Yeah, maybe. So every time I see in the script that there's an opportunity to play a slightly different iteration of Cass, I get excited because I feel like that's an opportunity for me to make the producers wish they had never hired me. And I think that there have been a few instances where I maybe pushed the envelope a little too far. Empty Cass, I think, was a good example of that. So that was where Castiel was talking to the character, the Empty, who also looked like Castiel because he was played by me. And I wanted to make sure there was like enough differentiation between the two characters that you could tell who was talking at a given point. And so I gave the Empty Cass a really creepy accent that's not an accent from any place. So it just sounds like a bad accent, performed by an actor who doesn't know how to do accents. I didn't think it all the way through, but I saw it later and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then we screened Scooby Natural at the Kodak Theater, which is the theater where they do the Oscars. So it's kind of like really exciting. The theater was full of people, and then afterwards we got up on stage and we did a panel, and it was basically like winning an Oscar. And except for there was no award and we didn't do anything good. And Bob and Andrew, our showrunners, were up there, and somebody asked a question about the Empty Cast. And Bob said, when the dailies came in, which are the footage from set, they weren't on set, so they didn't get to see what I was doing, and they didn't talk to me about what I was going to do in advance. And so they got the footage, at which point it was too late for them to change anything. And they looked at each other and they said, what the fuck is he doing? Which I think is a pretty good endorsement of my performance. And now we're going back into the Empty, and we're meeting that character again, which is exciting, but it's being played by a different actor now. So they fired me. Thanks for bringing up that sensitive topic. Hello. So this is the portion of the program when you ask a question.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
Don't be nervous. That man behind you won't harm you.
What was your favorite line ever said on the show?
Favorite line ever said on the show?
By you, by Cass.
That I said? That's a very challenging question. Do you have a favorite Cass line? I mean, there are a lot of sort of go-to favorites, like, hey, ass butt. Which I actually strangely use as a pickup line sometimes. So it's very effective. I pose it as a question. I know, I realize how young she is. I'm stopping. I'll just wait here then. That's another good one. Also horse and bars. Okay, great. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. So I was wondering how Cass's reaction to D&D, because that's by Michael, will be different than other characters' reactions, and if we're gonna see what happens after Dean said yes, because it kind of like time skipped and we didn't see what happens after that.
Well, you haven't seen it because it hasn't aired yet. Are you asking for a sneak peek of the coming season?
If you can give it to me, yeah. know if we will see it.
Yeah, sure. I got it on my phone. Do you want to look at it right now?
Yeah.
On my phone, I was just looking at the video of Jared and Jensen eyeing me from Thursday night. That was the end of the night. I ended up getting home at around 1 a.m. and then I got picked up to go to the airport to come here at 3:45 a.m. So I had a lot of sleep. When you guys come up for your autographs, you can just not go ahead and say that I look tired, because I know I do. But that was the end of the night after a long day, and it was the best way to end the day. I was really surprised because I didn't know that Jared and Jensen were going to also buy me. That was a surprise. They like to do that because they're bad people. I could not get it out of my ears. I kept like sticking a Q-tip in my ears, and it just kept driving the whipped cream deeper into my ear. And it's like at the end of a 13-hour day, just like, how did my life wind up like this? But that's not what you asked about. So Cass reacts. I think by just going into like survival mode, and he's hell bent on figuring out how to get Dean or get Michael extracted from Dean and get Dean back. And he's maybe more than anyone sort of willing to do whatever it takes. There. Great. Okay. Hi.
Hi. So.
Yes.
First of all, I just want to apologize because during our photo